welcome everyone. Welcome to our Cocktails and Canapes Thermomix virtual cooking class this evening. So there's a few of us consultants here from the team that I'm a part of, Hills Heat team. I'm Laura Jacobson and I'll introduce you to them as we go along. But really great to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us. We're kind of enjoying these virtual classes now. We've done a few, we're still a little bit clunky, but we're all just real cooking in our own kitchens. So hopefully you enjoy tonight and get some tips for how you can use your own Thermomix. Most on tonight do already have a Thermomix, so that's kind of cool. If you have questions, feel free to put them in chat and we will be monitoring that. If you don't have a Thermomix, stay on probably at the end and I can go through a few other bits and bobs with you because you'll have probably different questions to those who already have one. But we'll be showing you a few things tonight of what the Thermomix can do. So to get started, I'm actually going to hand over to the lovely Yolanda Baker, who's going to cook our first, make our first cocktail for us. So I'm going to go on mute and she will come off.
Hello, can you hear me? Hoping all's well. Mute came off okay, yeah? I'm excited for this one because it's Friday night and I've been painting and working all day and I feel like I need a cocktail. So I'm pretty keen to have a cocktail, and I'm pretty keen because the one I'm making is with Limoncello, which is an Italian, spirit, I guess. I had the pleasure of drinking that a while ago. So I've actually made part of mine in advance because it involves making a sorbet. I had to make a syrup and then I had to freeze it after straining it. And I figured that would just take too long for today. But I'll talk you through the process and then we'll actually grind up the frozen cubes of syrup that I've got, and then I'll put it into a glass and you can see what it looked like. And unfortunately you can't taste it, but hopefully you'll enjoy watching it. So. Just going to find the recipe. My Thermi unfortunately shut down while I was waiting for the class to start. There we go. So the recipe I've chosen is a limoncello sorbet with mint and basil. And that one is pretty easy to make actually. I had lemons in the garden, so that was a great thing to use. First thing we do is we add some water, we add some caster sugar, add some limoncello. After the limoncello, we put the measuring cap in and we cook it for about 7 minutes. I figured that would be a bit boring for all of you to watch. So I've done that in advance. Then we add some lemon juice, fresh off the lemon tree, they're fruiting now. And then some fresh mint leaves, also out of the garden. And then some fresh basil. And then transfer to a bowl and cover with cling film. Just checking, Laura, is all okay? You can hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you and see you well. That's just, Kelly's just saying she can't see everyone. If everyone can change their view to speaker view, if you're on the app on a computer, up the top right, you should find a button that if you hover over it, it says speaker view.
And I just realised I hadn't changed the view to be actually showing the screen of what I was doing. So sorry about that. I was
That's okay. We're all just cooking.
Talking, telling you. Okay, so I've made this lovely syrup. I've covered it with cling film. It's now infusing the lemons, the mint, the basil, the limoncello with the sugar, and I'm leaving it there for about 8 hours. So after that, strain it quickly, put it into ice cubes, and then freeze it. So when you've done all that, you wind up with this deliciousness here. It smells wonderful. They don't freeze really solid because there's limoncello in there, and that's obviously got quite a bit of spirit in it. So when you're digging them out, you need a bit of assistance with a knife. So now I'm going to pop all of this into the Thermomix. I've kept it in the thermoserver just to keep it nice and cold while I was waiting for the class. Thermoserver does a great job of keeping things cold for a couple of hours or warm for a couple of hours. We love those. Okay, so pop it in there. Just going to put on my lid with my measuring cap. And then I'm going to blitz it just for a couple of seconds. 3 seconds, speed 5. So quick. So this cocktail is the sort of thing that you can make in advance when you've got a bit of time, and then you serve it when you're ready. So 3 seconds, speed 5, and it's just beautifully turned into this wonderful limoncello snow. So what's going to happen now, I like the idea of making this in advance and then having it when I suddenly need a cocktail. You know, when someone suddenly comes to visit and you suddenly want something impressive and special. I've decided to make the sorbet and then pour over the top some Prosecco, just to make it super Italian and a bit special. So limoncello snow, and I'm going to pile it in because I think it's going to taste great, and it's Friday night after all. Beautiful. Then on top of that, we just add a teaspoon of limoncello to each one. And then I'm going to add to that just a bit of Prosecco. Got a bit of a fizz going on there. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's rather lovely. My husband's going to enjoy this in a minute. And then I've just, with the lemons that I juiced earlier, I've just finely zested a few threads of the zest. So we'll make that on the top to look super pretty. And I'm going to add just a little bit of our mint out of the garden. And there is my Friday night very fast limoncello cocktail. Not so fast if you're making it from scratch, but if you've done the prep work before and frozen it as I did, it's super fast to make. Cheers, everyone. Happy Friday.
That looks amazing. Well done, Yolanda. I love just making it ahead so that you've got it ready to go in the freezer. How quick is that if you've already got it done?
Correct. And even this that I've smashed here, this is going to go back in my freezer so that I've got some for another day. I've got a neighbour across the road that loves a cocktail. I know that she'll appreciate one. So I'm going to freeze what's left and enjoy it another time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. Okay, we are now going to go over to Nat, who's going to show us how to make a very fancy canapé in your Thermomix. Keep putting questions in the chat if you have any. And yeah, for those who weren't on when I mentioned it in the chat earlier, I am going to email out all the recipes tomorrow. So don't feel like you need to sit there writing notes. I'll send out the recording of this video and the recipes tomorrow.
Okay, sorry. Hi, I'm Nat. Tonight I'm going to make Turkish spice lamb bites. They've been pre-tested in the house and been given the thumbs up. So that was pretty cool. Can you hear me? Yep, cool. Okay. All right, so I've got everything set up on Cookie Do, so hopefully you can see the screen. So first thing we're going to pop in is the garlic and onions. Some olive oil. And then measuring cup. And we're going to chop this up for 5 seconds on speed 5. And anyway, most people have seen it, but that's what just happened to our onion and garlic. So hopefully you can see that. 5 seconds, it chopped it all up. Okay, do it again. And now it's going to cook for, saute for 2 minutes. So just while that's sauteing, I've done a bit of prep work. And in this recipe, it asks for pomegranate molasses. Now, I tried to buy it, I couldn't get it, but you can make it, and it's so easy, and so I'm never going to look to buy it again. So it was 500 grams of pomegranate juice, lemon juice, and sugar, and you just cook it up in your Thermomix for 40 minutes, and then I put it into a jar, and as it cools, it thickens. So I've got this jar of molasses here. I've got a really big jar for some reason, but and I've sent the recipe to Laura, so she'll pop it in the email tomorrow. But it was so quick to make this. I spent longer than 40 minutes trying to find molasses in Coles and Woolworths. So yeah, I should have just trusted the Thermomix in the first place and just thought to make it, but I didn't because I was freaking out. So as I do. Yeah, so that's what I had to do. And just a little tip with we're going to be using phyllo pastry tonight. So I've actually got it here on my bench, and I've got a damp tea towel covering it because the phyllo dries out really quickly. So you want to keep a damp tea towel on it so it doesn't dry out, and it makes it easier to work with. I thought it was going to take me long. Oh, that's what else I had to do. I had to toast the pine nuts. So I just put them into the Thermomix for 5 minutes on Varoma temperature, speed 1, and that toasted the pine nuts. So there wasn't too much prep work to be done, but yeah, I had that's the little bits and pieces I had to do in preparation for tonight. And this is almost finished sauteing, so how about that? I actually got something done in 2 minutes, and I didn't talk too much for once. I beat the Thermomix. I'm talking. It's a miracle. Okay, next we're going to put in the lamb. So I've got 500 grams of lamb mince here. It's low fat. I got it directly from the butcher. Tomato puree. I'm going to show you the Thermomix rather than my ugly cupboard door. My pomegranate molasses that I just talked about. Just need 2 teaspoons, and I grabbed a tablespoon. How clever am I? Grabbed a tablespoon instead of a teaspoon. So 2 teaspoons. As you can, I don't know if my arm's in the way, but it comes out, looks a bit like runny honey. There we go. You can see that dribble. Okay, and then all the spices. So I've got cinnamon, ground cumin, coriander, some chili flakes, salt and pepper. So I've just popped them all in there. Pop the lid on. Mix that up for 20 seconds. Okay, so we keep the measuring cup in, and then we cook it for 15 minutes. And so while that's cooking, I've pre-made some lamb mince for this, and I'm just going to show you how we assemble it to save a bit of time so everybody can have their time of cooking tonight, so I don't try and steal the show like I like to. So I've got my, you can see that, all right. So I've got my phyllo pastry here. So you just need 2 sheets in the squares. And it's really fine and fragile. Breaks easy. Okay. A little bit of melted butter. And then you place the other square on so it's like a star shape. I hope you can see this. A bit more butter. And then just a tablespoon of the lamb mince. This is what it's going to look like once it's been cooked and cooled down. And then you just grab the edges up and get them to meet into the middle and make it like a little parcel. Like that. And I'll just use a little bit more butter. It acts like a glue. Sticks it together. I do a little twist at the top. And then if you want to be really fancy, put some sesame seeds on top. And it's done. And you just repeat the process until you've finished all the lamb mince. I'm just going to pop that over. And I actually have some cooking at the moment in my air fryer. So once they're done, I will give Laura a wave or a shout out and let her know that they're ready. But that's it in a really quick nutshell. So I'll hand back to you now, Laura.
That looks so awesome. Now that I've seen you do it, I feel like I could probably do it. I'm like not a great chef at doing anything that's not just in the Thermomix. So once I've seen other people do it, once I've seen other people do it, I'm like, okay, I can do that now. Got it.
It was much easier than I thought. I was a bit daunted when I said, yeah, I'm going to make that. And then I looked at it and I went, I can't do that, but I did it all.
Well done. It looks awesome. Thanks, Nat.
All right.
Okay, so we are going to go over to Penny now, who's going to make us another beautiful cocktail for our evening. And so I'll just ask Penny to come off mute.
Hi.
There you are.
Am I working?
Yep, all good. Hey.
Hi everyone, welcome to our cocktail night. I am doing a frozen margarita and I discovered these amazing little drinks in Vegas back in 2010. Sorry, I have a friend here who's helping me drink them and she just got a phone call. Anyway, so yes, I discovered these back in Vegas in Fremont Street back in 2010 for 99 cents a glass. But in fact, they weren't in glasses, they were in plastic cups. So tonight, it'll be in a glass. So the recipe I'm going to do is from cookie dough, but it's actually on the French cookie dough. So we're going to use Google Translate to help with it. So I'm just going to move the screen closer to the machine so you can see that. So that still looks like it's in English. Sorry. And then, as you can see, that is not. So I don't know if anyone has used Google Translate before, but if I go to my phone, it's just an app. And what I'm going to do is I've already preset it to French. So we're just going to go camera. And I hope this works. So if I, hover that, can you see that on the, see how it translates? Oh, I can't see all of it because of the light.
We can roughly see it if we look closely. Yeah, so I can see it.
Pass the edge of each glass in 1 teaspoon of lemon juice and then in salt for a frosty effect. So what I'm going to do, I'm cheating. I have my glass. I'm just going to rub the rim of it with some lime juice. And then I have a plate with some salt on it. And I'm just going to do that. So that's 1 glass prepared. And then I go, next on there. And anyone can read that. That says 100 grams of tequila. So tequila. Oops, a little bit much. Next, we've got 50 grams of orange liqueur or Cointreau. Oops. Then we've got, okay, so 50 grams, and if we go back to Google, Google Translate, it is 50 grams of lemon juice, green. So you can probably put in lime juice if you wanted to, but I'm just going to go and do lemon juice. So I'm just going to squeeze my lemon juice in, which looks like it'll probably be 1.5 lemons. Oh, just, you know what? I have a lime cut up, so I'm just going to put the rest of the lime in because I only need 5 more grams. That'll do. And then, so 400 grams of, go back to Google Translate, ice cubes. Oops. Perfect. So my lid goes on and 10 seconds on speed 5. And it is done. And it looks amazing. I don't know if you can see that. If you wanted to crush it up a little bit more, you absolutely could. But I'm just going to pour that in and hope I don't spill it. I might throw a little lime wedge or a big lime wedge. And there's our margarita. So that's it. How easy is that? There's heaps of other margaritas on Cookie Do, but this is the one that we chose for tonight because it was nice and easy.
Awesome. Yes, there are. And I'll send out that link, and I'll probably send out an English version link as well. But I just, Penny and I were talking about wanting to show you guys how you can use all the recipes on Cookie Do with that Google Translate app, because it's just so handy once you've figured out how to use that, and it just unlocks more recipes. So thanks so much, Penny. It's my turn now to cook some recipes for you. So I don't actually drink. I'm the most boring person on this cocktail class. So I'm going to show you now how to make a non-alcoholic cocktail or a mocktail, so that you can make it for those who don't drink or kids or whatever. And just because my husband loves this, and he's just walked in the door from being gone to work for 12 hours. So I'm like, I will make this for him and he'll be so happy. So I'm going to move my screen here to see the Thermomix. Okay, hopefully you can all see me okay. Okay, I need to crouch down to be with it. But okay, this is like a recipe that I made up, so I will send it out, but there are heaps of recipes around for the Thermomix to make this. It's a virgin Pina Colada, and so obviously if you want it to be a real Pina Colada, add your rum, that's fine. But this morning I just cut up some fresh pineapple and I put it in the freezer, so that's ready to go, and it's going in the box. The next ingredient is just some tinned coconut cream. You can make your own coconut cream in the Thermomix. There are recipes around for that too. So have a look for that if you're wanting to do everything homemade. But just for today, I'm using a tin. Oh. There we go. And then just some pineapple juice. And if you like it sweeter, you can add sugar. And obviously, if you want it alcoholic, add some rum. So now this is going to mix for about a minute on just a high speed. We're just using a high-powered blender right now. I'm probably going to go up to speed 10, which is 10,300 revs per minute, super powerful. So if you were in the room, you would hear how powerful it is, but Zoom has this fancy feature of quietening that down, so you probably won't hear it. But I will probably mute and oh, no one else can do anything in a minute. That's okay. You can watch me dance for a minute while well, the cocktail blends together. All right, that will do. Almost a minute. That was 50 seconds. So, I'll show you what we have here. Smells good. So, and on my glass, I have just dipped the edge in water and then added some coconut, just like what Penny was doing with the salt. Just put some coconut on the edge, just to make it look a little bit fancy. And now for the reveal. Super easy, pineapple, coconut. If I had have thought about it in advance, I probably could have hollowed out the pineapple to serve it in there as a glass, or got a coconut, but I didn't think about that in advance. So you can do fancy things like that with your cocktails at home. I'm going to hand that over to my husband now. He's just walked in the door, so he's excited about that. And now I want to show you a really, yeah, thank you everyone. I need to go look in the chat a bit later, but I'm going to show you now how to make a really easy canapé. It is just to make some caramelized onions. So this time I'm going to move the camera so you can see my screen a little bit better, so that you can see what's happening there. I am going to, yeah, that's good. Just swipe, and in here I'm going to type. Just give it a second for the Wi-Fi to kick in. I'm just going to type in my onions. Oh, helps if I spell it properly. I'm just typing in onions. I just want to show you all the great different recipes there are. So you can have barbecue onions, browned onions, sauteed onions, but the one I want to choose is caramelized onions. So you just press the recipe you want to do and start cooking. So it wants me to put in some oil. I love the scales here. They go up in 1 gram increments. So even when you drizzle your oil in, you can be super accurate, which is just handy when you're doing different things that need to be accurate. So 20 grams of oil. Onions. Now, just so you know, I am a lazy cook. This recipe says to put in your onion wedges cut into 3 to 4 centimeters. No, I'm putting in whole onions. I've got 3 onions that are just going to go in. And I'm going to show you the lazy way of cutting them into wedges. So to do that, I actually need to go out of the recipe. So I'm going to press home. I hope I'm not going to get in trouble for doing this. I'm just going to press home, and I'm going to chop those onions on speed 4, which is quite a low speed for chopping onions. Normally, if you want them very finely chopped, you'd go up to 6 or 7, but we do want them in those thick wedges. So I'm going to do it on speed 4 for 4 seconds. Then I'll have a look. If it's not quite right, I'll just do it another second, but the danger is going too far. So it's always best to underdo it. So that looks great. So I'll just show you my wedges of onion. Now, I need to go back into the recipe. So all I need to do is press the bookmark, and I'm back. So I've done that, and it wants me to put the splash guard on, because this recipe is in high heat. I'm just going to grab that. Sorry, I didn't have it in advance. Sorry about that. That's my splash guard. I'm just going to put it on top. Oh, actually, I better show you how this works. So I've put the splash guard on top and the arms are going to lock that in. So I'm just going to press done and the arms have locked it in. It's nicely in place. So this is using the high heat. So you can see the high heat symbol there. It's going to go for 20 minutes at the max temperature. So the max temperature on high heat is 160 degrees, which you can't do by manual cooking. Thermomix are conscious of people's safety and cooking, safely in the kitchen. So that's why it's only in guided cooking, so that they can make sure you're putting in the right amount of oil, the right amount of quantity of ingredients. So those will cook away for 20 minutes, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the caramelized onions. You can do anything with them. They're awesome. I'll just have a look in the chat because I've seen a question there. Sorry, Penny, I'm making caramelized onions. And yes, the splash guard comes with the TM6. Everything you need to do your cooking comes within the package, so no need to purchase anything extra. Great, I think that covers everyone's questions. I'm glad you're enjoying this. Oh, sorry, Alex, I should have told you a day in advance about that chopping onion trick. So now I am going to hand over to Lisa. Lisa is going to show us another beautiful canapé to make in your Thermomix, and keep questions coming in the chat if you have any. Cool.
Okay, I think I've taken myself off mute there. So I'm making watermelon canapés with whipped feta and walnuts. And I chose that one because it's in one of our promotional brochures. And although it looks very fancy and in the brochure, I just wanted to show you how easy it is to throw one of these together. So we'll start. And we've got 1 sprig of fresh parsley. And a sprig is anything between 2 and 4 and 8 centimetres on the plant. And next is 1 sprig of mint. And then we're putting on our lid. And round to speed 7 for 3 seconds. I'll just quickly scrape down the sides and show you what that looks like. Oh, I moved my camera. So that's there it is, all chopped up there. So the next part, 20 grams of olive oil. 22, a little bit over. 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. Pinch of salt. Pinch of pepper. And lid is back on. And this one is to speed 9 for 10 seconds. There we go. Oh, sorry, everybody. Oh, gosh. Okay, now I'm just going to transfer this into a jar for serving later. And if I had a spare bowl, this would go much faster, but I'm going to get one eventually, and they do come on sale. And the next step does say to clean the bowl, but it's really not necessary. It's all this flavour will be going into the mix. Clean another day. And we're going to 150 grams of the Danish feta. There we go. And then 60 grams of cream cheese. And then the butterfly whisk should be in on this one, but firstly, before we put that in, I'm just going to make sure that it's going to move freely. So I put it in the second part. Okay. And we're going to scrape down the sides. Now I'm going to put in the butterfly whisk. And 3 seconds. For 30 seconds there. Put it into a fancy little drip bowl. Now that I've got some time to do that. Okay, hit our next button. We're scraping down the bowl again. Probably do that to show you what the whisk does for cream cheese and feta. Scraping down again. Two tablespoons of extra olive oil. I think it says tablespoons, yes. 1, 2, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And 2 pinches of sea salt. And 2 pinches of black pepper. Insert the lid again. And 20 seconds on speed 3. While we're doing that, I've got our watermelon. You can see that there. And just a little cookie cutter, a round cookie cutter. Pinch out 3 of these. Oh.
We lost you. Oh, you're on mute now. Sorry, everyone. We're all just home cooks here, and we're all still learning and whatever. I'm going to find Lisa to unmute her. Actually, Lisa, I can't unmute you. It won't let me.
Unmute myself. There you go.
There we go. Hi.
Hello. So, did I do it? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, fabulous. Good. So, what you didn't hear was made some little watermelon discs just by using a little cookie cutter. Now we will remove the whisk. And transfer into a bowl and set aside. So I'm just going to make this a little bit fancier just for tonight, special treat. I'm going to put it into a piping bag.
So would you normally just dollop it on with a spoon?
Yeah, you can. I wanted to show you how nice this can be. I'll show you one dolloped with a spoon. It won't look much different. There we go. Got it with a spoon.
I just haven't made this one before. I have tried it, but someone else made it and it was delicious.
I taste tested it the other day, and yes, made a meal out of it. And someone had told me many moons ago that just to get the rose piping tip, I could have saved myself a lot of money because it's the only one I like. Can you guys see this?
It's very low. Yeah, that's a bit better.
I'll do this
Oh,
left-handed.
that's great. That's better. Thank you. Yeah, that does look fancy.
And it's the only tip I like. So I should have.
You're frozen on us, Lisa. Okay. While we wait for Lisa to come back, I think, Nat, did you want to show us the lamb bites? Because Lisa's frozen, unfortunately. Oh, wait, she's back. Yeah, she's back. She's back. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, the last part was popping on some walnuts onto our little, trying to pick ones that I didn't burn. And then just drizzling this over the top. And it's delish. Just a little drizzle. Real MasterChef stuff happening here. And that's how easy that is. And quite a simple recipe, made it onto our promotional book. So I'm really happy to show you that one.
Thanks, Lisa. Do you mind just showing us from the top so we can see what it looks like from a different angle as well?
How does that look? Does that look good?
Beautiful. Thank you. And I have tried these. They are really, really good.
See you later.
Thanks, Lisa. Okay, so Nat's going to show us the end result of her lamb bites now.
Hi. Yep. Oh, there was just one thing I also forgot to show you with the mince. Like after you cook it, then you've got to add in the pine nuts and the parsley. And I'm pretty sure that's the last step. And then you mix it well with the spatula. And then you transfer it into a bowl and let it cool for half an hour, and then we make the lamb bites like I did. And then usually you put them in the oven, but I got an air fryer a couple of weeks ago, so I'm making the most of it. And they've turned out really well. So here's the end result. Hopefully you can see that. And I made the yogurt with the coriander, and I put a bit of garnish on top to make it all pretty. So that's it. So can you see that?
Yes, I didn't want to talk because it would take you off speaker view. They look amazing. They look so good.
Yeah. So that's it. That was really easy and it was fairly quick.
Wow. I don't even think I'd wait for a dinner party to have those. I would just make them for dinner with some steamed veggies on the side.
Well, that's what this is tonight's dinner.
So good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nat.
Thank you.
Before I pass you over to Shan, I don't know if you can see this sizzle that I've got happening here in my high heat. That's the onions caramelizing away. I don't know if you can see that steam coming off there, but it's smelling so good here. It's got another few minutes to go. So I'm going to pass over to Shannon now, who's going to make another cocktail for us. So all the cocktails we're learning tonight. Where are you, Shan? Just if you can come off mute.
Yep, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm going to make you an espresso martini. So during the week, I asked on my Facebook page what everyone's favourite cocktail was, just to get an idea. And this was one of the popular ones. I was secretly happy because I've been wanting to try this one for a while now. So it gives me a good excuse. So here we go. Just put that down for you. Okay, I'm just going to find it here. It's on Cookie Do, so everyone can do it as well. Okay. Okay, so our vodka goes in first. enough. And our Kahlua. It's a pretty easy recipe. You're pretty much just throwing everything in together. Now I pre-brewed my coffee. Pop in. And our ice cubes. It on and turn. And that's it. Now we just strain it into our glass. Can't find my little strainer, so I'll just use my funnel.
If the glass is the same size as your Thermomix lid, you can use your Thermomix lid as a funnel too.
I could have done. It's nice and fluffy. And that's basically it. Can you see that, guys? It's got a froth there. My glass is a bit frosty on the bottom, so I'll tilt it so you can see the colour. And that's it.
Great, thanks Jen, cheers. See how quick it is to make cocktails in your Thermomix. All right, so Jenny from our team is going to make for us a cocktail and a dessert kind of canapé. So I'll ask her to come off mute. Hey Jen.
Hi guys, how are you? How are we going? Can you hear me? Right, hang on, I've just got to turn my other phone off. Oh dear. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so tonight I'm going to do a Don Pedro, which is a Don or a Dom. There's two different versions of the name, but this is a really yummy, thick, boozy milkshake cocktail. So I do love my mojitos, I do love my margaritas, but every now and then you do love a really yummy, milky kind of cocktail. And sorry, I just need to grab two things.
While Jen's gone, I will just mention something we were talking about saying tonight. Since we're showing so many cocktails, just a public service announcement message to drink responsibly. Obviously at the moment people are wanting to drink, and you know that's awesome, and just to make sure you're being safe and drinking responsibly as well. Jen, that looks very fancy.
Thank you. Sorry, I did have the glasses chilling. So yeah, so what I was saying, this is a, it's actually a South African cocktail. So I know I've got Nadine and Steve on tonight, and they are our South African guests, or Aussies now, but of course from South Africa. So very excited about that. And I know we do have a huge Thermomix following from SA, so that's quite exciting. So this cocktail has coffee liqueur and ice cream in it, And I was doing a little bit of research because obviously I love to cater for all of my customers. I've been a consultant now for nearly 9 years. And I even found that you can make this vegan and dairy free. So I quickly had a look on the recipe community, which is similar to our cookie dough, and I found a vanilla, vegan vanilla ice cream that you can make, and that's got it's made with coconut cream, vegan dark chocolate, and you can either make your own vanilla vegan ice cream or you can just pop down to the shops and get it. I must admit, tonight I've been working all week, so I just bought store-bought lovely vanilla ice cream. The other thing, you can also make it dairy free, so you can use like an oat milk, coconut cream, sugar, that kind of thing. So there's a couple of little options you've got here. Now, what I did just to make this fun, sorry, I've got to bend down to this screen, or just lift up a little bit, but I actually just melted a little bit of chocolate in my Thermomix earlier, and I don't know if you can see the little sprinkles? It just made it kind of cute and nice for the weekend. So, and just to make this a little bit quicker, because obviously we're short on time, and I've loaned out my other TM6 machine, I am going to make this cocktail in my TM5. So you can see I've got the cook key on the side here. So obviously these classes do run for both, all machines really, but I just thought I'd do that. So of course the cook key is your Wi-Fi device, and it hooks up to your cookie dough. And then of course I've just loaded the recipe in the same way we would with our TM6. And then all I'm going to do is hit start. Now, just because we are short on time, just a little earlier, I actually broke up some dark chocolate, the nice Lindt dark chocolate, and I just grated it in the Thermomix, and I'm not sure if you can see how nice and fine that is. So that's just going to be our little garnish that goes on top of our cocktail. So that's our ingredient list here. Now, it's quite easy. It's just 4 ingredients. So we've got dark chocolate, we've got ice cream, we've got Kahlua, and we've got cream that goes into this recipe. So the chocolate step's already done. So I'm just going to tab across from that. And if the Thermomix plays nicely, why are you not doing it? Oh, my screen's dying. Okay, we'll just jump across to the TM6 and we'll start here. And we'll just, oh, hello. We'll just jump across, and I've already done this step for the grated chocolate, and you just says, just grate it for 5 seconds and pop it into a container. And then all we're going to do here into our Thermomix is chuck in our ice cream. So, and I'm also being a little bit responsible here. There is only my hubby and I tonight that are the adults in the house to drink this. And of course, I'm a mean mum, so I'm making it with alcohol so I don't have to share it with the kids. But you could also make this as a virgin cocktail as well for the kids. You could actually make it and then just put the alcohol in at the end for yourselves and give the kids a serve. But the kids have had plenty of treats recently. So I've also just halved this recipe as well. So I just wanted to let people know that, you know, I mean, this makes 6 cocktails, but I just decided to make it half. So I've halved all the quantities here, and I will halve the alcohol content. So in goes our 100 grams of, oopsie daisy, just picking up here, 100 grams of Kahlua, our coffee liqueur going in. So I'll just tip that in. And we go, oh, we didn't even go over, so I've been very well behaved tonight. And then the next step, I'm running off 2 machines here. We're going to pour in 100 grams of just pure cream is going in. So I didn't bother to tear that, I'll just watch those numbers. So in goes the 100 grams. Tapping next, and it just tells us to, with the assistance of the spatula, we are just going to pop that in. And so you can stick your spatula in the top. I don't know, can everybody see that? So if I just stick that there, the collar of the spatula prevents the spatula dropping down into the blade. So then it just says 20 seconds and we're going to go to speed 4. So I'm just going to come back to home and hit 20 seconds on the Thermomix and then speed 4. And that's whizzing around there nicely. Eight seconds to go, not long. And stop. And then all we do now is we have this beautiful, thick, can you see that lovely thick, I don't want to tip this on my daughter's computer, lovely thick milkshake, boozy milkshake, and I'm just going to tip that into that pretty little glass like so. Now this will actually make 3 cocktails. And of course, a nice little straw with that would look beautiful. And there we go. So that's our Don Pedro Kahlua boozy cocktail. So that one's there. And I will now step through. Laura, am I still going?
I was just going to say, if I can just show my onions first before you go on your next recipe.
Perfect.
That looks amazing, by the way. Thank you. So I will just, hopefully you can all see me. I just wanted to show you what I did with the caramelized onions. So they were going for 20 minutes. And then while Jen was doing her cocktail, it asked me to carry on. And all I did was I added some balsamic vinegar and a bit of salt. And it cooked for another 3 minutes. So the end result is... oh, my light went on, you can't, my top light's on, but I'm going to tongue it out anyway, is these caramelized onions, which I'm just going to serve on some little bagel crackers that I went to the shops to find, you know, those mini tartlets that you can just buy, that they're just empty tartlets. I've never actually bought them, but I've seen them in the shops heaps, and then I went to buy them today and they weren't there. I was like, oh, trust that to happen. So the next best thing, I found these bagel bites. You could put these on puff pastry and bake, but I wanted to show you how quick it is to just caramelize onions and then do something with it, that it can be a canapé. So I am just using some little tongs to put some on these bagel bites, and then I will sprinkle over some crumbed feta, and you've got a fancy canapé to serve to guests, because the caramelized onions just on their own, they're good enough to just eat as they are. You don't need to do anything further with them really, but the feta really sets it off, just that saltiness and that creaminess of the feta. So I will grab that now, and these are looking good. So I've just got some feta that I'll crumble over, and you've got something easy, and it's basically like the onions can be caramelizing while you're chatting with your guests or drinking your cocktails. So something that's just really easy. You know, one of the best things about the Thermomix is that it's a set and forget. You put the ingredients in and you walk away. So I've spent 1 minute in the kitchen adding some onions, but then I've got my, let's see if I can show you, my little caramelized onion feta bites that are really yummy. And yes, I could have made my own pastry tins as well. Homeschooling 4 kids today, so that wasn't going to happen. I wanted to dash in and grab something. Okay, so back over to Jen. She's going to make us, show us this delicious dessert kind of canapé.
All right, guys, so this one is a frozen mojito cheesecake. So it does take a little bit, you do need to freeze it, but I'm just going to show you the construction of this. And I have had an internet failure here, so my cookie dough has dropped off, but we'll run through anyway because I did store it. But you will have to excuse me when I need to swap out the bowl. So, all right, so what we've got here, we're just going to do the biscuit base. So I've got a container here of, sorry, the lighting's terrible. Granita biscuits just chopped up into chunks. We're just going to hit start cooking, and I'll pop this back down so hopefully you can see my screen a little better. So normally you can do this as a standard cheesecake in your round container, but I'm actually going to use, can you guys see these little containers? Like they're like little dessert containers. So I'm going to use those. So it's just going to look pretty, kind of cute. And these would be great as individual serves for guests if you do have, a cocktail party or a party and you just want to walk around and give everybody, as opposed to cutting a slice of frozen cheesecake. So, but normally you would just line your springform pan and then pop it in. So I'm just going to tip in our granita biscuits now. And in they go. And we're just going to tap next, and we're going to tip in some butter that's just been melted. So in that goes, just softened butter, and we tap next. We are going to insert the lid on the Thermomix. So I'll just get my lid here. I'm a little bit rattled because of my cookie dough's dropped out, but anyway, we'll be right. And we tap next, and around 10 seconds and speed 5. So quick chop, it might be loud. And now all we're going to do is, normally we would press that into your pan, but I'm just going to tip this out into my bowl here, and then whilst we're going, I'll end up, what did I do with that spatula? Whilst we're going, I will put this into the little cups, but just so we can keep moving right along. Sorry about the angle here, it's not the best for cameras. All right, so you can see there is our, I'll just fix this up. So you can see that's our biscuit and butter crumb mix. So I'm going to spoon that into our little containers. I need a kitchen assistant. And all right, so next, what we would do is clean and dry this Thermomix bowl, but that's not going to happen right now. And then you'll just fill up these little containers and then pop them in the refrigerator till to be used. Won't be a sec, I'm just going to give this a bit more of a scrape out. All right, so the next step that we're going to do is pop in 100 grams of caster sugar. Now I've just milled down raw sugar in the Thermomix just to make it nice and fine. So, and I've pre-weighed that. So that goes in, and then we're going to use the zest of 2 limes. Now, if you can see here, the little lime pearls, what I've actually done, and I've got an example from our Thermomix toolkit, which often comes up as a host reward every now and then. It's quite a speciality. I've just gotten a lime and just used a potato peeler and just peeled that rind off. So it actually works really, really well for this. So in goes the zest of 2 limes with no pith. And we've got 2 sprigs of mint leaves going in. So there's some lovely fresh mint going in there. And then we're going to put the lid back on the Thermomix. And we are going to chop that for 10 seconds on speed 9. And we go next. And then the lid will come off. And of course, what we've got here is this beautiful, I need actually to show you this. It smells absolutely divine. It smells so fresh. It's like air freshener. if everybody can see, the sugar and the lime has been beautifully milled there. So all we do now is we're going to insert the measuring cup again back into the Thermomix bowl. Or scrape down the side, sorry. Oopsie. Somewhere along the line I've just lost my spatula, so I'm just using a silicone one. All right. And, oops, going back, sorry, I went too far. And just another quick chop for 5 seconds. Just making sure that's really well done. Okie doke. The doors are going to open and we're going to add in our 250 grams of cream cheese. Now this is just Philly cream cheese. This is the full fat one. I'm pretty sure you could probably use the light one if you so wanted. Putting the lid back on the Thermomix. This is really a really fast dish when you're actually going at it on your own. Speed 4 for 1 minute. So can everybody hear me? Okay, good. So yeah, so this is one of those things now, and you know what I forgot to do with our cocktail? I forgot to actually show you with the sprinkles on top. So here it is, and it's just looking so pretty. And I'm surprised nobody's come out. They're all on the computer with their headphones on, and I've called them twice, but nobody's come out for it. So I might get to drink 2 of these. All right, 10 seconds to go. So this is where, you know, you can be using this time to clean up your kitchen, throw everything in the dishwasher like I'm just going to do, or into the sink. And then we tap next. And then give the sides of the Thermomix bowl a little scrape down. Now this just looks like so yummy. I want to just dig my spoon into there right now. Give that a quick scrape. And we tap next, and we're going to add in lime juice. So I've just squeezed 2 limes here, so 40 grams of lime juice, roughly. Oh, couldn't have been much closer, 38 grams there. And then white rum, so just a Bacardi rum or whichever rum you feel happy with. And of course, this is a full amount, so we'll go the 40 grams here. So there we go. Oh, 45, never mind. And then we just tap next. Insert the lid on our Thermomix and hit next. And that's 10 seconds, speed 4. Now what I'm doing, I'm just filling up these little cups about, you know, a third full with the biscuit base. And we tap next. And what we're going to do now is, that's actually our cheesecake base. Can everybody see that? So I'll scrape that into our bowl. And whilst the next step's happening, I'll pop that into our little cups. And if I only had my other bowl, life would be so much quicker, but that's okay. What I might do is just flick over, because I can. I'll just go to the TM5 if that's easier, because it might just make life a bit easier. I'll just tap next, hit the scales. I'm going to insert the butterfly whisk. So of course, in goes our butterfly. Now that just goes into your Thermomix like so, to the left of the highest blade, and X out of that, tap next. And I'm going to add in 300 mils of just pure pouring cream. So tapping the scales on my TM5, can everybody see that one? And just adding in 300 mils. And this is making the topping for our cheesecake. So we're nearly there. That'll do, or 5 grams more. Tap. And then all we do is pop the lid on our Thermomix, pop the lid on, and 20 seconds speed 4. Now with your cream, you do have to watch it because some cream will go thicker quicker, and the fresher the cream, the longer it will take to actually whip up. So I'm just going to show you while that's whipping. What I've done here is I've filled my little cups like so, and then now I'm just spooning in a couple of spoons, maybe 3 and a half. So now we've got our little green layer, and then the next layer that's going to go on is our whipped cream. So I'll show you that in a few seconds. So Laura, did you want to just do some other chatting?
Hello, I ate it.
I would love. Oh, come off mute. Yes, I wanted to just show everyone. Can you all hear me? Yeah. I wanted to just show everyone a few things on Cookie Dough. If you've got a few minutes for me to do that, Jen. I have polished off all those caramelized onion tarts. They were so good. Really delicious. I am just going to, if you give me 2 seconds, I am going to screen share with you. I just want to show you all a few tips on Cookie Dough. Hopefully you can see that. That was in the cheesecake. So I just want to show you Cookie Dough. For those who aren't on it, this works on your TM5 or your TM6, or you can just use it. If you've got a TM31, you can just use this and have it on your app or on your computer and use it as a recipe book. And obviously you still do manual cooking on your TM31. But there are thousands of recipes on Cookie Dough. The best thing you can do is just type something in. So if you want to type in, for example, canapé, see what comes up. Some results come up. If you want to further your search, take Australia off, and that's when you start getting a lot more recipes. Another thing you can do is just type by ingredients. So say you've bought a box of tomatoes and you're not sure what to do with them. You can type in an ingredient. You don't know what you're going to make, but you'll see something there that you think will look good. Or if you know specifically what you want to make, you can type it in. So you want to make pumpkin soup, you'll find the pumpkin soup. But I do just want to show you the filters. Someone was asking a little earlier about how the filters work. When you're in the search or the explore section of Cookie Dough, you come here to the filters. You can choose your category, and there's a whole heap. You can search for specific ingredients, tags. So tags are like dairy-free, gluten-free, gourmet, canapé, Mother's Day, brunch. You know, a tag is like any sort of keyword that you want to add in. Difficulty, time, portions, rating. The one I want to show is right down the bottom, where you can choose whether to just have the English recipes. I usually keep English ticked unless I want to use the Google Translate app. But there's still a lot of recipes that are English. But to untick Australia, because if you untick Australia, it opens up a whole lot of more recipes. So I've got it on English, but not Australia. And these are all the different pumpkin soup recipes that have come up. If you want to cook something, let's just say fancy.
Laura, your screen share is frozen for Cookie Dough.
Oh no! Has it been the whole time?
Yeah.
Huh. Thank you for telling me. Screen share was frozen. Let me try again, because I was like going through about a dozen pages just then showing you a few different things. So let me see if this will work again. I haven't had it freeze before. Can you see it now? No. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I will make a little video of myself explaining Cookie Dough, and I'll put the link in tomorrow's email. And that way you can all I'll try and make it really quick. Sorry about that. I have no idea why that's happened. Yes, but I can make a little video of that and show you tomorrow. Interesting. Okay, so once Jen's cheesecakes are ready, that was our last dish for tonight's class. We wanted to keep it as short as we could, but we all wanted to show you our favorite cocktails and canapes, and we hope you've enjoyed the evening. I do just want to let you know, for those who might not have a Thermomix yet, we do have some really great promotions on in May. So if you want to stay on at the end to ask specific questions, please feel free to do so. I'll stay on for that. But we do have 24 months interest free. It works out at less than $24 a week to have a Thermomix on your bench. So super affordable, and a lot of us can find definitely $24 worth of grocery savings just by having a Thermomix. Anyone buying a Thermomix in May also can get a package of 3 whites and 3 red wines from the beautiful Margaret River Lewin Estate. Or if you don't drink, you can choose to have a vegetarian recipe book and 2 of our thermal servers. So we've got some great promos. I think Jen might be ready to show us her cocktails, cheesecakes. Oh, you're on mute. There you go.
Hi guys. All right, so I'm back, and here are our little cheesecakes, our little mojito cheesecakes. So you can see I whipped the cream there, stuck that on. Now these would normally go in the freezer, and you would actually freeze the base first before you pop the cream on. That's what I've done in the past, but you can just pop that in for a few hours. And even if they're not frozen hard, just nice and firm and cool in about 2 hours, that'd be a lovely dessert. So you can see quite cute. We've got there just a nice little individual serve, portion controlled and yummy. So thank you very much for joining me tonight. Thank you to all my customers for calling in and popping into our little cocktail class, and enjoy the rest of the night. Hope you all make these lovely things over the weekend.
Thank you, Jen. Yes, thank you to everyone who joined us this evening. We love seeing your comments in the chat. At least we know we're not just alone in our kitchens cooking, even though we kind of are. But yeah, thanks so much. Feel free to stay on if you have any questions. The other option I want to just share with you all, if you all love your Thermomix, you can come join us as a Thermomix consultant and share that with other people in the community as well. Most of us all are just, you know, we're just home cooks here, and some of us are stay-home moms, some of us work other jobs, but the Thermomix brings us all together and we're all great friends. So you can come and have fun with us and share the Thermomix with others. If you want info about that, just reply to my message tomorrow or ask your consultant to get you that info as well. Thank you everyone for your comments. We've had a great night, and we hope to see you at our next class, which I'll put details for in tomorrow's email as well.